Thanks, Freak. An extraordinarily dominating win there by Cloud9. It looks like they're just as hungry as ever for yet another North American championship.
I got some housekeeping to do really quick. Prolly, I think C9's going to win this.
Oh, man.
What's your prediction?
Oh,
I got to throw that at him now.
He got it in. He got it in. He got it in there quick.
That was already my prediction. This is unfair. I call him mulligan. I'm taking a mulligan on this one, boys.
Cloud9.
Yeah.
Let's get into the game though, because we saw some new picks compared to the last series. We finally saw Zed get through, and High. I mean, he seemed to keep up with his skills on Zed as he used to be a Zed player, and he finally gets the chance to pull it out.
He was super happy about that too. You could see him on the screen when he locked in. He's like, "All right,
stretching his
time to
fingers,
do some Zed stuff."
Yeah, because I mean, back in the day, that was his champion. It has a way of engage, a way of assassin, and it has a good lane presence. So it's basically like High's perfect champion. Not to mention, you only need 2-3 items on Zed to be effective. So the fact that he's not a supportive mid, but he kind of gives a lot of lane CS to his other teammates, actually really complements that playstyle.
Yeah, and that was just a huge display of power, mobility, mechanics from High. And the fact that he's the shot caller of the team, he's the captain, he moved all around the map very early on. It was almost a perfect game from them too.
And Zyrene, talk to me a little bit about the choice to go with the lane swap in this matchup. As we saw standard lanes across the board in the previous one, here we see the lane swap, but we had one team, Curse, choosing to go with the double jungle, while Cloud9 chose to throw their support and their top laner in the duo lane against the AD carry and support of Curse.
Yeah, it was really interesting because they didn't give up too much dragon control by doing that, because then you could just stall it out, have Tristana run from top lane down there if the dragon was started at all. But they also had a gold generation item on Elimination's Morgana, and he took some CS for himself too. So they had about a 500 gold lead before that dragon fight even started that they did all show up too. So the lane swap was very intelligent by Cloud9 to do. And Sneaky is kind of the MVP of that team this split because he's been very consistent. So why not put some free farm on him where he doesn't have to go up in a matchup?
You mentioned the dragon fight. I want to get into that as a replay because I think we're going to get pretty in-depth with it, as it was a huge turning point in the game and kind of where everything fell apart for Curse. So we're going to pull that up onto your screen here, and Prolly, take it away.
Yeah, so this is so Curse starting the dragon, and we can start rolling it. Right now, we watch Balls. He starts backing up to his turret because he wants to get that TP off. And Balls actually gets the early TP, which is very advantageous. And then we're going to freeze it right about now. So Quas responds immediately because he knows his team's already dedicated to Dragon and they need to do it. The problem with this is they have 4 people around the Dragon, and Quas is technically overextending, although he's not in there. So at this point, they need to either turn and help Quas, or they need to cut and run, and Quas needs to flash out, and they need to pick a new engage. But we can roll right now and notice that they do neither. They actually have Quas flash out, but they stay in the fight. And they actually have Boyway go in before they can relocate. And now they're already at a health disadvantage, and they use their Yasuo ult that got exhausted. So they basically are down 2 ultimates to start this fight. And at this point, it's just Cloud9 trying to clean up after, they take damage from Dragon, so they're already weaker on Curse's side.
Yeah, when you put yourself in that situation, I was thinking about the hypothetical there. Quas, he could have just stayed where he was because 3 people clumped up on him. They missed the cocoon. If he had ultied himself, it would have been a 3-man, possibly 4-man ultimate there for Yasuo, which he ended up only using on High. And you were talking about this, where you can't blow up a Zed unless everybody is on him because he just has so much mobility. He's very slippery at this part in the game because nobody's got burst potential. There we go. Words.
Now, yeah, right. Now, hindsight being 2020, of course, we can come up with a lot of different scenarios that Curse could have played out in that situation. Probably as someone who has played in high-intensity games like this, team comms, is it time for everyone to be quiet and one person is making the calls, or is it relying on instinct there and trusting that Quas will make the right decision? How does that go?
I'm not quite sure how Curse's voice comms go, or who's the shot caller for that. But in complexity side, if that's something that we happen to run upon, we'd notice West calling out he's TPing in, and then at that point it'd be either me or Kez yelling, "We need to help West," or "We need to run from this," or "We need to burn Dragon and then get out." So it's kind of like the second you see your teammate in a dangerous position, someone just has to yell out what to do, and no one questions it. Everyone has to follow it.
I mean, at this point too, you're down 3 kills, a dragon. You are already in a bit of a gold deficit, and things just start to crumble around you as a team. And that is harsh maybe to say to Curse, but they're in a pretty tough spot now mentally to try and get back into this series. What are the first steps to rebuilding that?
Well, first of all, you have to come to terms with you just gave away the largest gold lead at 20 minutes this summer split to the team you are going to continue to play this best of 5 against. They surrendered, so they didn't have to continue to go through that burden. They can regroup, they can give themselves some time, and they don't have to keep taking that beating. So I think surrendering actually was a kind of a good idea by them in that regard, to keep their mentality up and keep their outlook positive.
I feel like the surrender definitely it puts a stop to, I guess, the pain of having to live through it. Although there has been arguments made for prolonging the game so that you have the opportunity to talk about, prolonging the game maybe to win, but prolonging also just for the opportunity to talk about what you're going to do in the next game. Because now Curse, they've only got a short period of time to reformulate an entire pick ban phase and then a play strategy on the other side of the map. So my final question to you, Prolly, is what are we going to see in pick bans? Are we going to see that Zed off the board?
I think it'd be really smart to ban Zed. I feel like that's just a high staple champion, similar to Bjergsen's Syndra and Zed. It's just, regardless of if he's played it recently, you know he knows the ins and outs of that champion, and it's really scary for him. So I could foresee maybe a first pick Zed on Curse's side. Maybe that, maybe Tristana and try to pull it mid. So I think they actually have a lot of room. I don't think that game decides what they need to do. They still have another game or 2 games to lose before they're out. So I think they have a lot more room to kind of, do what they want to do.
The series is definitely far from over. I will be curious to see what Curse decides to come out swinging with this next time around. But we'll see if Cloud9 can keep that momentum going in Game 2 versus Curse. The action continues after this.
Yeah, can we go? Kill Lulu. Careful. Yasuo. Go. Thrash. Yo, Lulu.
We can drag.
Go fast.
Keep going. Yeah. There's no time.
Nice. Good job, guys.
Dominic gets some food. Voice still wants in, though. He's into the battle, high, low on health, but he jukes back up north. The kill goes to Meteos.
Oh, another binding.
Individually binding lands on a dominate, though. And that's one kill picked up. Now Top is being chased down. The flash on in dies to the death bar.